Y'all, we live. We live. We live. We live. Damn, let me let everybody get on. So I'm gonna go over this. I've been seeing a lot of comments on the YouTube streets with a lot of people are saying like this is just so horrible. This is the horriblest thing that they ever seen. And it's like they gotta stop it. And it's some old people too, old white people that I know they've been around in the hanging era of our people. I know they've been around when Emmett Till got beat. A lot of countless of our people got, and they want to put this and make it seem like this is like the most wildest time because this Carmelo Anthony is getting support. That's just ridiculous. They're trying to. We just talking about the hypocrisy. Now I'm gonna go over this video and I was trying to find it independently, but I couldn't find it. But we're gonna let his the representative of the Carmelo Anthony family speaks. It's my first time hearing it, but salute. We appreciate you for tapping in, bro. A lot of people are not, they are taking this way out of proportion. Like, this is a crazy time when somebody's supporting, and it's like they're forgetting about the past on what happened to us. The years we've been through and what we had to, it's like that wasn't crazy times. I was just in the comment section. I'm like, this lady, like, this is a crazy time we living in. I'm like, so the Emmett Till thing wasn't crazy? The burning of our towns, was that crazy? How did you feel? I want to know how, when they heard about that, did they have this same sentiment? That's just my opinion, you know. Condolences to the family of this of Austin Metcalf, but it's like we need to see the hypocrisy. We just want to see the same laws be held for us. But they're overreaching. They reaching, in my opinion. It's a tragedy that happened, but I think a lot of people is overreaching.
Generation Action Network. Okay, it's right there. Okay.
Generation.
Alrighty, so real quick, I want to start off by saying, real quick, that my comments are represented today by the Next Generation Action Network that have been working with the Anthony family from the advocacy standpoint. I'm
So they're working as for advocacy.
not
Okay.
uh, the Anthony family attorney. Of course, you know the Next.
So he ain't the attorney or anything like that. Salute, salute, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in for real. I got the other one, the big one. Let me show y'all this. I found them. Generation Network. I want these dudes talking too much.
Alrighty, we're good. All right, so
But here it go right here. But we gonna hear what he say, man. He's saying some good stuff. Let's get it, y'all.
real quick, I want to start off by saying, real quick, that my comments are represented today by the Next Generation Action Network that have been working with the Anthony family from the advocacy standpoint. I'm not uh, the Anthony family attorney.
Salute, Hop.
Of course, you know the Next Generation Action Network is no stranger to this line of work.
Close.
And we have been representing families for the last 10 years from an advocacy standpoint to get to the bottom of this situation. The Next Generation Action Network, since the last past week, have gotten thousands of calls regarding this situation and making sure that our organization was involved in this situation because of the growing tension of racism and bigotry involving with the case. I want to start off by saying that I appreciate um, the deputy chief.
So they was doing a lot of they've been threatening the family of Carmelo Anthony. They've been threatening them. So it's been a lot of crazy stuff going on.
John Stretch, from being able to come here to meet with us, as well as the assistant police chief, Darren Stevens. These are two individuals who are currently over the investigation that is currently going on in Frisco ISD. Um, of course, let's start off in the proper way. I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as president and founder of the Next Generation Action Network, the largest human and civil rights organization in North Texas. Today, we had a meeting with the leadership of the Frisco Police Department to discuss the matter of urgency in escalating racial threats and bigotry and online hate directed at the Anthony family. Let me be clear, the Anthony family cannot leave their home because of the growing threats towards their safety. Their personal address has been exposed. They have received graphic and racist threats. They are being targeted with violence and simply because their child is in the center of this tragedy. We are here just for just this justice must be fair and impartial and protected from biases. We
Okay.
cannot allow racism and bigotry to divide us. We cannot allow white America to decide when and how Black people can speak up against oppression. We do not pull the race card, we live it. Yes, this case is a tragedy. Anytime a child is lost, we mourn as a community. Our heart goes out to the family of Austin Metcalf, but we do not race the right of the Anthony family to be protected and heard and treated with dignity. That's why today we spoke with the Frisco Police Department.
Now he got to do this, and they said that the people said that he wasn't supposed to be at the track meet. He suspended. They throwing a lot of false narratives out there that is not true, right? So they even trying to cut off the money that the support we trying to give them. I think the real reason is the support. Like they don't like the fact that we supporting him and standing behind him. Like they do when people in uh, the white community do something. They get their support no matter what. Salute Avatar. They get their support no matter what. They don't. I think that's the real issue where they mad at. It's not. That's what it is for me.
Leadership
What y'all think?
to demand answers. We need to know what steps are being taken to protect the Anthony family, the strategies of the threats that's being spreaded, and how Frisco police is ensuring that Carmelo Anthony's Sixth Amendment right, fair and public trial, is, is fully respected. Let's make it clear that absolutely we have the full permission and trust of the Anthony family and authorized for the Next Generation Action Network to speak today. Today in this meeting, we talked about and was able to give them graphic images of what this family has had to deal with for the last couple of days. It is sad. These graphic images not only display children with knives, Black children with knives stuck in their head, the Anthony family's address. We saw when this case first started that people were putting online that when Section 8 was accepted into the Frisco neighborhood, that became the lead of the downfall of Frisco. We have saw so many different hateful
Y'all see how
images,
they do?
just hateful things. And the Next Generation Action Network wants to reiterate that Carmelo Anthony has a right to a fair trial, unbiased, and removed of racial hate and bigotry. I want to make it very clear, and I say this from my heart and my own personal reference.
Salute.
If someone wants to say race is not in this situation and shouldn't be, well, I asked all of those people to join me in calling it out. But don't look at Black people and say, don't always play the race card. We don't play the race card, we live it. We
Straight up.
live a reality. We also feel that the bomb.
But let me go there because they said it first. This ain't about race. Like, you can't hear one person's side and say it's not about race. Like, I got on my channel, y'all see I got Emmett Till on there. We got countless of people that passed away, that died from horrific reasons. We are the people that you should ask, is it about race? How Carmelo Anthony felt, that's to be the person that we should ask, was it about race? Like, he was in that situation. For somebody else that's already in the upper hand in America to look at and talk to black people and say it ain't about race, it's just crazy for you to make that statement without us even having to speak about it. But let's go.
That Carmelo Anthony is on is too high. We do. Because guess what? We've been here when Aaron Dean was arrested. We was here when Amber Geiger was arrested. $200,000. The system, it has a problem in it.
That
Now, what I want to be able to do is ensure, and what we was able to hear today from the Frisco Police Department is reinsuring that the Frisco Police Department is doing everything that it can to address the racism and the bigotry. We have saw the police chief, uh, a statement being sent out by the police chief that was false. We have saw a false autopsy report that was false. We have to caution the community to say, hey, we cannot trust everything that is online. The disinformation that is going online is hurting this case, and it has to stop. It has to stop, y'all. As we know it right now, Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony did not know each other. They did not know each other. Let's stop it. They were not at a party together. Let's stop the lies regarding this situation.
yeah, what?
We also know that both.
Hold on. Yeah, why it make your stomach turn? Maybe you saying the situation, but he gotta get straightening with the whole people because I think this gonna be our next OJ. I don't know where y'all was at when OJ beat that case, but if they let justice be equal, he's gonna beat the case. You know, in my opinion, I just feel like it, it just it's no limitations to stand your ground. They don't have that. They don't have that detail yet. So it's like you can say that, and I think that he'll be able to. I think he's gonna be able to win with that.
Austin Metcalf, the twin brothers, were on the roster that day to be at that track meet. We also know that Carmelo Anthony was on the roster that day to be at that track meet. We know they both arrived, all of them arrived to this facility
Nah,
via the
they
transportation of Frisco ISD. The lies has to stop, y'all. Far as the legal strategy, I'm not talking about that today because that's not my place. I'm not the lawyer. I think you guys have all had a statement in regards that the lawyers have asked for a bond reduction, and they will release that in the way. We are solely here because where racism and bigotry and hate arises, the Next Generation Action Network will be there and will respond to that hate. We will not allow our communities to go under attack. We know that when people see a white and a black man in an unfortunate situation happen, that race always become a factor in that situation.
Becomes a factor.
And it's really because people don't want to really have a conversation about racial reconciliation in this country. In the current climate that we live in, where racism and bigotry is at the forefront, we don't really want to have these conversations. And social media has been a stomping ground for people to be able to launch any disparity that they want to. And so, our heart goes out to all who are involved. The Next Generation Action Network
Yeah.
continues to restate that we are here um, to support this situation based on what we have seen. We want to continue.
Why I think he's gonna beat the case is because they got video evidence. And they were saying that he just grabbed him. No, they was there's people now reporting allegedly saying that he actually punched him. He actually like it wasn't just no push and grab like they saying. There's video evidence. So I think this is why I feel like he's gonna beat the case. But they don't want him to beat the case. I think he is gonna get stuck with the knife, like you said, because but that's a misdemeanor. That ain't they trying to stick him with manslaughter.
To express Mr. Carmelo's Anthony's grounds of where he has displayed self-defense. I think that in the next coming days, as you see the things going out in the courtroom, it will be displayed. But today's meeting was solely about the threats that have been
Yeah.
going towards their home and ensuring that there is a fair and impartial investigation going on. And I want the public to know that our organization, along with attorneys, are doing everything they can to make sure that race is not a factor in this case, ensuring and supporting like we've always done. And so I really appreciate the police chief coming to meet with us today to answer all of those questions that we have had. And so at this time, I'll just open it up for questions.
Dominique, what exactly did you ask police to do and what exactly did they tell you they would do? And is it enough?
Okay, break that down. Just give me that again.
What exactly did you ask Frisco police in your meeting today to do about these allegations of racism leveled against this family? What did you ask police to do about it? What did they say they were going to do about it? And is it enough?
What I've asked them to do is put an additional presence out there with this family around their home. They have ensured that they have had levels of communication, but for the family, it has been hard for them to know and trust everything because of all of the disinformation. And it made it hard for a lot of people to even trust law enforcement in this situation because of what was going on. It was one moment that we thought that the police chief made a statement regarding the case. Then we find out that's a lie, right? The family saw an autopsy report. You know what I mean? Now, at the end of the day, because of my experience, and growing up in the funeral home industry, I know that it's impossible to have an autopsy report, you know what I mean, something like that to be released in the matter of 2 days, right? So we was able to dispel that really quick, right? You know what I mean? And we knew that that was never going to be the avenue that the Collin County Medical Examiner would release that information, right? And so it made it very hard. So what we've asked them to do is increase their presence. Um, we've asked
We need
them
our own
for a
presence.
direct contact for the family to be able to send them the information that is when they're getting it, that they have a point of contact to be able to do this. Um, their home address has been shared. You know what I mean? The hate, there's a lot of stuff that people are seeing in regards regarding their son that are false. You know what I mean? You would think based on what is online, you would think that Carmelo Anthony is a person who is like, you know what I mean, a hooligan or somebody that doesn't have a home or structure or foundation or all of these different types of things. There's been a whole bunch of lies, like Carmelo Anthony uh, uh, was
Yep.
put out of his home
Yep.
days before.
Hey,
Just stupidity. They are all false and lies.
appreciate you for tapping in with us, Shay.
And so, you know what I mean? It's just some of
One
those
love.
things that the family knows, and things that were expressed. Like the family know they got to the bus to do that because Carmelo Anthony's car was at his school. You know what I mean? So it's these type of lies that is being expressed on social media, that's making it hard for a lot of the family to even trust. So that's the reason why we had this meeting, to be able to ask, answer any questions.
And just real quick though, but so what did police say that they were actually going to do? Are they going to increase
Yes,
protection for the
yes,
family?
yes. They accepted that. They did. Uh-huh. And
You said in the initial letter to the
But my point was when George Zimmerman did that, they ain't even have to ask for no more security. You know, he got his protection. He probably ain't get no death threats or nothing. It's just the difference that what we got to go through in this country. Nobody really want to recognize that. They just want to say they want to act like we supposed to accept the bigotry, the racism, and we just supposed to deal with it. No, we just want a fair trial, and it's hard to even get a fair trial, in my opinion, from what they saying online about Carmelo Anthony.
believe that you raised serious questions about their thoroughness and
Salute, T
fairness of
Beasy.
the investigation, saying that you guys have spoken to
Appreciate
coaches
you tapping in.
and other people that witnessed it and that they didn't follow up with them. Were you able to have that conversation with the assistant chief and resolve that?
I was able to have that question, and we were able to give those individual names up because the Next Generation Action Network do not want to interfere in the investigation. We're not going to release who they are, but we were able to have that conversation today. You know what I mean? That's what prompted them to even be able to come. And also, we not only talked about people who were speaking out, like that had information regarding the case. We also reported people in official capacities, like
Of
people who are
course.
teachers, government officials, that have used their own personal social media to placate in the hate and the false narratives that are coming out against.
See, he know that video. That video is gonna show him attacking Carmelo, bro. They make it seem like he just poked him for no reason. No, he was going after him in a rage mode. So once that video gets released and people see that, that's all you wrote. It's it. Once they show that in there, it's like that's a stand your ground. He came at him with aggression, with violence. That's it. Nothing else matters after that. You can do whatever, however you want to defend yourself. You entitled to defend yourself.
Carmelo Anthony, and we were able to report that information.
That's how I believe he got stabbed in the chest because he came up on him. He ain't just reach and go stab the man in the chest. He was like already defending himself.
To them regarding it.
Do you stand by that though, that did they acknowledge that some witnesses have not been contacted by police, or were you
To be exact, Frisco Police Department was able to tell me that they have interviewed over 75 people, and it's ongoing. But they did acknowledge that there are people who have not been interviewed in regards to this case. They are aware of that. That wasn't, you know what I mean, like based on the information that we were getting, it was very hard for us to be able to, uh, see what this investigation was going and how it was being.
But think about it. Y'all ever see a white man get pulled over by the police and he get out the car like, the heck you pulled me up? Like they got some balls. They feel like they're invincible sometimes. Imagine telling somebody, "Hey man, don't touch me, bro. I got something in my bag. Hey, don't touch me." And they telling you, "Bro, don't touch me," and you just feel like you so invincible. Like, who are you to tell me I can't touch you? And they just go and they go to pounding on you. It's like they so above the law that they don't really have respect for respecting people because they feel like, man, my people's been on this land terrorizing stuff. How you gonna tell me to, you ain't equal to me? That's how they had this feeling. So they don't want to talk about that at all. And I feel like he displayed that same energy to Carmelo.
being together because we didn't know what to trust. But we had to make sure that we get involved in this situation early
He's a
so that we can
representative.
ensure that this investigation is fair and unbiased.
Do you feel better after having this meeting that it will be a thorough and fair investigation?
I think the jury is still out. I think that, they were able to come to me and be very sincere about it. I feel comfortable right now, but we have to see, right? They did answer my questions. And so that's, for now, I can only see what they do from here on out, in protecting this family, in making sure that this
Definitely.
investigation is going right, and pushing forward.
Are you guys,
Do you plan to have a meeting with the family
Do I?
for this meeting? Do you plan to have a
Yes,
second?
I will have a discussion with them, with their family attorney too as well.
I assume you're gonna be releasing some of these images or proof, or I don't know if the family's house has been targeted.
Yeah.
Are you going to be releasing
Mhm.
anything to the media to
Okay.
support what you guys are saying?
Yeah, I can release you social media posts that have been pushed out of their home. Yes.
Okay, with the 75 people they say they interviewed, did they say anything about video was
Yes,
recording?
they have collected video.
So it is video of the incident.
Yes, they have collected video.
Okay.
There is video of the actual stabbing.
There is video. There are several different video that they verified.
It's videos that they got out there. That's what I'm saying. So yes, he got what he deserved because you gotta know when to you shouldn't be rushing nobody. You shouldn't be putting your hands on people. Period. That was his mistake. If he would have never, I don't think that dude would have. I don't think Carmelo would have stabbed him if he would have just went on about his business. But to see the racial things play in this, it makes we gotta be prepared because we don't like to see now they threatening the family. It's like now we see like how we being viewed. Like this let us see like how they see us. And these people don't give a damn. Like they don't want us to have the same rights as everybody else.
Did the Anthony family obtain their attorneys through Next Gen or did they obtain them independently? Like,
Real.
The initial attorneys were obtained, through our advocacy. Yes, correct. Of course, you know that one of the attorneys, Kim T. Cole, is the general counsel of our organization. And I believe they are adding more people to, when we got the case, it's about ensuring that the families have representation. We know that over the weekend, the courts, which is normal protocol, appointed an attorney that is.
Yeah, you right. Like they ain't releasing that video. It kind of make me, but it's video out there. But if y'all seen with that Luigi case up there in New York, they released that video like quick. It's like when it comes to our stuff, they take so long. I don't know what it is. It's like why do they be like everything takes so long to arrest the prison guards in the Robert Brooks case? It's like everything is a slow process.
Done by, I want people to know that's done by the courts. That's not done by the family. The gentleman that, and there's nothing he did wrong, the gentleman that presented himself as the attorney, at that time when he made those statements, he were the attorney of record. Until Monday morning, when the new attorneys was able to notify the courts that they were the attorneys of record hired and retained, by Mr. Carmelo Anthony. that's when they go. And I know there was a lot of confusion as to who did the family hire and all those different types of things. And so for now, y'all, that's an ongoing process.
So
Appreciate
what do we know that has been debunked as far as like the cell phone getting broke? Do we
you. Hit
know
that like
that? Do
button.
we know about
I didn't ask about pretty much cell phone. What I can tell you is on the surface of being debunked is the fact that they did not know each other. There wasn't no, and I want to say this because there is a particular blogger that's getting a lot of views, and it's very detrimental the audience that they're getting, right? And that's the only reason why I justify in saying this on this press conference because of the type of information that Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony had a fight the day before or a week before, or at this point, there's nobody.
and they both were on the roster
j-
to run.
There,
This make me miss uh this make me miss Johnny Cochran, man. If Johnny Cochran was here, bro, man, bro, we'll be they wouldn't have nothing on Johnny. Man, Johnny Cochran would have ate this case up. What's up, Des? I appreciate you tapping in. Tania, y'all coming in now. I appreciate y'all. Where is this man from? But if we would have had Johnny Cochran, man, I would have been totally confident. I don't know about any of our guys. Well, we got the guy who was with the Young Thug case, but Johnny Cochran was a great man. R.I.P. to Johnny, man.
there's nothing at this time that support that they knew each other. Okay, you know what I mean? They are both athletes in the same school district.
Yeah.
Of course, they probably know of each other, but they do not know each other, right? And so that's a lie. Like the pictures and I believe there was a picture that went on social media saying that this is Austin Metcalf and Carmelo, and that is a lie. So
No eyewitness.
that's a false narrative. Anything else?
What would you say to people that view these social media posts before they hit share or send it to all their friends and such?
I ask that people, if you're really trying to help, I ask that y'all continue to support this family. I know that the community has overwhelmingly support this family in the tragedy that has happened in this situation. Um, but I ask that people, when they're sharing information, please verify the source of the information that you are sharing.
Go
Because if
check
you're
them out.
trying to help Carmelo, sharing false narratives is not helping. This situation is too delicate to be spreading false information. There are a lot of different things, people taking screenshots, and it's looking in the day and age that we have with artificial intelligence. Someone can take this sheet of paper and recreate it with our letterhead, with anybody's statement, and put it out, and that's very detrimental. So we've asked continuously, if you are posting something on social media, please verify your statement. Um, I just want to say this: if there's no other questions, is there any other questions? No questions?
Dominique, I have two
Yes.
other
Yes.
questions. And these are more clarifying questions. You mentioned that the attorneys that have been retained were through the advocacy of the organization. Can you talk a little bit more about what your relationship has been thus far with the Anthony family? And then the second question, uh, can you speak to kind of your stance on the investigation at this point? I think the letter that was initially sent suggested that the investigation, as you saw it, was insufficient. I'm wondering if you still maintain that. You talked a little bit about that earlier, but just want to make sure I understand what the stance is.
So, like many people know, the Next Generation Action Network was founded in 2014. And after a situation happened like this and our organization gets involved with the case, there is protocol to be able to get them a proper representation, because our organization is an advocacy, a human and civil rights organization. So we cannot give a family legal advice, right? So there are appropriate protocols and people who are brought in to be able to do that. And of course, that's the family's decision to, go with that or whatever. And
I
we
agree.
just give them the options that they need to be able to make sure that their rights are protected, right? Um, like I said with her question, um, the jury is still out in regards to the investigation. And now they did give me a lot of clarity about some of the falsehoods that I didn't know wasn't true until I asked them, because there were so many different letters and so many different stuff that was going out on social media. I needed to hear them say the letter that was supposed to be put out by the police chief was false, right? Um, and so, because I couldn't trust whether that was true because of how much heightened I do share their concern that this case is like none other.
For real.
I just feel like we're at that
I'm with you
beacon
on
of
that.
where we are in social media and artificial intelligence, where people can just do anything and just run rapid. I have saw platforms be used in this case that I never even knew existed, right? Um, and so with that being said,
Hmm.
you know, that's pretty much it in regards to the investigation. I hope that I can see some in the coming days. I also told them, hey, if 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 bullying, racism, and bigotry exist in this investigation, it's the responsibility of the police department to address this in their community. And so hopefully in the next coming days, we will see this. I know they have a job to do an investigation, and I don't want to impede in anything or speak in the legal matter of for the Anthony family or in the legal matter of anybody in this situation, right? Our sole job today is from an advocacy standpoint in making sure that we give voice to the community. Um, I'll I'll end with this. And
Dominic, can I ask you a question?
yes,
Why did this young man have a gun? Excuse me, why did this young man have a knife on him to begin with?
I cannot speak to that. I cannot speak to that in regards to that. I can't. I
Adequate.
cannot. I can't speak to that because I believe that first of all, even if I had the answer to that or whatever, I wouldn't say it because that's a part of his defense, and I think there's going to be an appropriate time where they're going to speak to what was going on. What I can do is reiterate that Carmelo Anthony, from the beginning, has continued to display his self-defense claim, and I believe that in America, I always tell this, and I'm just going to speak truth to power in this situation. It is crazy that America tells us to accept the self-defense claim of George Zimmerman, Kyle Rittenhouse, and so many other people. But when the shoe is on the other foot, that claim is absurd. And I just got to call a spade a spade. No matter what my personal views of a case may be, it is quite
Appreciate
contradicting
you, Captain Private.
for America to come back
Salute.
and say,
My
oh,
guy.
Cal Rittenhouse can have it,
Love, brother.
George Zimmerman can have it. All of these individuals that don't look like the color of my skin
Right.
can't
Have
have it. In the state of Texas, we live in a state where yet you can walk around with a permitless carry, you can walk around with a brass knuckles, you can walk around with a knife, you can walk around with all these things. AK-47 in these state of Texas. And then as soon as you see a black person exercise those rights,
they don't
we
want
now have a problem. And that's not me spitting hate or race or bigotry. That's the facts. And like I put a statement, what we're not going to do after 400 years of oppression of black people in America is yet justify ourselves every time a situation comes up with one of our children. We want them to have those same rights that
second.
everybody else. We want him to have his same day in court as Cal Rittenhouse, We want him to have his same day in court like anybody else. And he will have that. And he will put up the proper defense. And all of these questions will be answered. But the unfairness in this case is gross. And I think that the people in the community understands that. And that's where some of this pushback is coming from because there's gross negligence in regards to in huge biases. And that's the reason why the Next Generation Action Network has to get involved with it in the beginning. Because we are afforded these rights. It's,
How do you feel like the way the media portrayed at the very beginning when this first came out?
it,
Uh,
it's
with
I'll say this.
Salute.
Anybody that is putting stuff out
Cheers.
here in this case, and this is the reason why the Next Generation Action Network, until that letter that we sent, stayed silent over the weekend while we investigated this case, because we knew that we had a responsibility to ensure that we put out the facts, truth, and that we knew exactly what we are talking about. And I'll just say this, the media has a responsibility to ensure when you are putting things out on your platform that you are not feeding into some of the racial divides and some of the biases in regards to this case, right? I can't go into the nuances of it or whatever and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll just end with this. In an interview that I know that any prosecutor that got a hold of this case wouldn't have never wanted the brother of Austin Metcalf to do is say what he said on the news. And it is clear, in his own words, he stated that Carmelo Anthony said, "Don't put your hands on me." That's it. That's
Straight
all
up.
we hear. Certain things were loosely said.
I
There,
don't know
there
his
was
name.
loosely said. There were certain things that was loosely said in that interview that I just point people to. I don't want to
Put your
ignite
hands on.
things or try to, speak for his legal defense or whatever it may be. But he stated, y'all, and the hate that was given regarding this case, the bias, that's what has us here today. He should be afforded the same rights that anybody that displays that self-defense claim. He should have the right to do those things and say those things. And someone getting mad that he say that, and that's what we're saying it. I didn't see you saying that when Cal hit Rittenhouse. And to say that's not the same is absurd. Self-defense was the claim. And all we're doing is asking people to respect this. We know that there is an unfortunate situation. There is a family that has to prepare for a funeral. There is a family. In the next coming days, I hope that the investigation uncovers some of the truth around this case. And that's why we will fully cooperate with making sure that this investigation is done proper. And we ask that people pray for these families and support and do the things that's necessary needed to ensure that we create a real just society. And if anybody got a problem with what I said today, if anybody who continues to say that race is not a factor, if anybody who
Straight up.
continues to say all of these insinuating things that I saw on social media, then you might look at yourself in the mirror and say, you're the problem.
Right, because if a white person can't tell us that race ain't an issue, because you don't experience what we experience in America. So you have no right to tell us how race is an issue because it's always been on your favor. So the only way race ain't an issue is if we have the same justice as everybody else, and we get the same treatment as George Zimmerman. That's the only time you can say race don't play an issue. So don't listen to clear people when they say that. They have no right to tell you that because they haven't experienced what we experience. And I'm tired of people saying that, bro. Like we have to be the ones that say, nah, race ain't playing no issue in that because we the ones that go through it. So I'm glad he said that. That's very important. Let me let him finish.
You're the reason why we cannot get anywhere when it comes to race. And when we saw this case come out, there were so much rush to judgment and so many things that had to be corrected that we end up finding wasn't true. It was a huge tagline that was said that Austin Metcalf died in the hands of his brother. And it was false.
They lying, bro.
And we have to be
Shit
very
crazy, bro.
careful when we report things. We have to be careful when we report things and put things out because we live in a day and age where social media runs rapid. And so the next step for the Next Generation Action Network is that we will continue to work with this family to ensure
Yeah, they lied, bro.
that their rights are protected. We will continue to work with their attorneys to support this self-defense claim. And my thing is this: our decision to stand in solidarity with the Anthony family. If you don't like it, then God bless you. But if we call ourselves a human and civil rights organization, we believe wholeheartedly that Carmelo Anthony reserves the right to be able to be afforded the same treatment that any of his white counterparts are given in America. And if this is not the America that can afford him those same rights, then I believe that what Black people in America have been saying for over 400 years is correct. Thank you.
Straight up. Now I'm finna let y'all hear what Lucas got to say about him punching him, showing y'all the actual evidence that he came at him trying to.
So one thing I will say that I find is humorous is racists accusing people of defending Carmelo Anthony due to the color of his skin. Oh, you're just defending him because he's black. And I have to say, the only time I hear this statement, this allegation, is usually from white ignorants. And they're usually from white ignorants who know nothing about the history of this country. Because predominantly and historically speaking, the one main group that has been, let's say, racially divisive towards everyone else has been a certain group of white people. That's who it's been. Okay, when it comes to the laws, when it comes to segregation, when it comes to redlining, when it comes to loans, when it comes to a litany of things, when it comes to police brutality, this has been targeted towards a group of people solely off of the basis of the color of their skin. That's what that means. Now, I will argue that after, the first time someone gets a false arrest, that after the second time someone gets a false, allegation, that after the third time, the fifth time, after the 50 billionth time of, racists trying to target a black person saying, hey, he did this crime, he did this crime, and we all know that didn't happen based off of our previous track record, yeah, more than likely, people are probably going to side with the black person. They're probably like, that probably didn't happen based off of what we know thus far, based off of previous accounts of this happening. Damn. I just find it interesting that the same people who are praising Daniel Penny are now vilifying Carmelo Anthony. Now, the only factor in this, just so we're clear, the only underlying common denominator in many of these cases, whether it's, Kyle Rittenhouse, whether it's, Amber Geiger, whether it's Ashley Babbitt, is that they're white. That's it. That's literally it. We have Ashley Babbitt, who everything wrong. You still have people trying to say, hey, the officer was in the wrong. Ashley Babbitt was in the right. You have Daniel Penny, black man. Now, I defended the homeless black man, not because he was black, but because it seemed a bit egregious to me that someone could take the life of another person who did no physical harm to anyone and didn't say anything threatening any individual on the train. As a matter of fact, that person was lied on from another person who said that they assaulted them, which turned out that wasn't the case. And I found it very perverse that there were so many people praising this man, including the President of the United States of America, having pictures with this man. Actually, just snuffed the life out of a homeless person who needed mental health. You know, the same thing that they claim whenever there's a white kid who shoots up a school. Well, the issue isn't the gun. The issue is mental health. That's what we need to focus on. It's not a shocker to me how, especially when it comes to the right, how they try to vilify and persecute a black person that they deem to be.
Yeah, either being on the right or the left, we can't be on the right or the left. That's his problem. Lucas' problem is he's a left guy, and that be the problem. You know, yeah, he's on code about this case, but if you don't stand on either side, it's more, you know, you more got a good foundation. But when you standing on one of these sides, you'll get caught up into this political stuff, bro.
Be unworthy. If they happen to be, you know, part of the Sambo elite, okay, then they're okay. But if they happen to have actual, I don't know, thoughts of their own, if they're not peddling, anti-black propaganda, then they're a criminal. Then they're calling them a thug, right? We've seen this before. We saw this in Katrina, where one family can be like, well, they found food. Oh, nice white family found food. Where the black family, well, they just went and looted the store. That's what they did. And listen, I understand this, and I think many actual racists understand this as well. The only difference is we have a difference of opinion. They believe that's how it should be. There should be some favoritism. There should be some nepotism towards white people because they believe, hey, this is our country. This is how it should be. And I happen to disagree with that. I think as far as labeling people as racists and thugs and criminals and constantly promoting that to them, everywhere they go, that's probably not going to, have amicable results. Okay. I don't know what to tell you on that one.
He's out of line, but he's right.
But nevertheless, getting into the crux of this video right now is that there is an eyewitness that has come out and has spoken his mind. Sure enough, I know that many people are going off the police report. I came across a police report too, and I want people to understand what a police report is. It's just an accounting of what the officer it takes in at the scene at that time, right? It's not 100% fact-based. It's not 100% true because things change. People lie. Eyewitness testimony can vary, and nothing that has been in the police report has been corroborated. So I just want people to just take it easy because I know people are going, the police report says that the police report. Calm down. Calm down. Now, there's also a bias in which they view the police report, which is a confirmation bias to try and frame Karmelo Anthony as guilty. So they're scanning through it and see, oh, look at this. But an additional eyewitness came out, and they give a very different story. A similar story that we've seen time and time again. Once again, pattern recognition, I'll say. I'm noticing a pattern of the same story is being told over and over.
Bro, they don't want to release that video because that video is going to kill all of this back and forth. I feel like that's why they don't want to release it because it's going to show him charging at the dude. That's the only reason you would get hit in the chest, bro. Like you're charging at somebody and he poked him. If they release that, it's gonna kill everything. Can't nobody do this talking. It's like, and I don't think they want that. I think they kind of want narratives to get out there. They trying to influence the people. It's just my opinion. I want to know what y'all think. But if they got video evidence, that's gonna clear a lot. But I don't think they want to clear it right now.
And over again, which usually leads to some form of credibility. So you have this person who's saying, hey, that Karmelo, he was under the tent and he was on his phone or something, or he's doing something. And that Austin wasn't even under the tent at the time, right? It was pouring down rain. People are trying to get to their cars and whatnot. And Austin, and apparently his brother, come over to Karmelo. Words are exchanged, and he says they tried to swing at him. Karmelo goes to his bag, and then they pursue. They continue on.
It was raining. They got rained out like crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity. So I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So dude walks up, McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another.
Justified.
They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and whatever. They went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah. It wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, that dude that's got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was community track meet, bro. It wasn't a school track meet. So he had the right to have a knife on his person, bro.
It's always going to be a different story than the main story that the racist right tries to promote. Always going to be a different story.
So y'all heard what that man said. That man said that it was two people. They tried to jump on him and hit him. There's two people attacking you. If two people coming at you, you need a weapon. I don't care what nobody said. You gonna grab a weapon. Anybody instance is going, if you got a weapon on you and two people charging at you, you gonna reach for your weapon, bro. So that's gonna kill the case right there. If this video of two people charging one man, there's no way he's gonna get stuck with even manslaughter. They can get him with the knife, a misdemeanor. He gonna time serve that. He coming home, man. If this guy was there, he ain't got no reason to lie, man. Let's hear his story one more time, y'all. This was the whole reason why we wanted to watch it. Check it out.
To his bag, and then they pursue. They continue on.
It was raining. They got rained out like crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude,
he hasn't bailed.
Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah.
It don't matter if he ain't bailed out. The point is, if two people charging him, punching him, everybody gonna handle the situation different. He chose to pull out his knife. Why would two people be charging you? They should have kept their hands to themselves. Why are they doing this? Why are you trying to punch on the dude? So I'm with the self-defense on that.
So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity. So I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So dude walks up, McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and whatever. They went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah. It wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, that dude that's got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was community track.
He probably might not even get hit with the knife charge. It wasn't even at the school,
bro. It wasn't a school track meet. So he had the right to have a knife on his person, bro.
So he got the right to knife. So now they took that out the way. See all the lies they be giving us? So all I'm saying is we hear it from a witness. It makes sense now. They made it seem like the guy just put his hands on him. Don't touch me. And the guy just touched him. And he like, okay, since you touch me, I'm going to poke you in the chest. Oh, that don't even make no sense, bro. This man was a witness. He said they tried to punch on that boy, bro. They tried to embarrass him. And I put a post out on what John Wayne said. John Wayne said, you will not lay a hand on me or I'm going to shoot you. This is one of their, one of their ancestors that they, live by from that Texas area that shoot them up. And his rules is don't put your hands on me or I'm going to shoot you. So it's good to hear from the witness, to hear what he said, but
it's always going to be a different story than the main story that the racist right tries to promote.
They don't want to let him out.
Always going to be a different story. We saw this when it came to Ahmaud Arbery. We're seeing the same thing when it comes to black victims. Always. Ahmaud Arbery, hey, he had a hammer. Hey, he was robbing people. Hey, he was, he charged a person and tried to take the gun from him. All this until we finally come out and we see there's video evidence. We have testimony. And we come to find out not only was it racially motivated, but then we come to find out that Ahmaud Arbery perished because of these two, ignorants. That's what happened, that they were guilty. Now, of course, when that happens, they deleted from the memory banks. All these racists, all these ignorants, they deleted from the memory banks. They just completely hit delete because it doesn't align with their, a racially charged worldview, unfortunately. So I just want people to understand the same thing is happening where they're trying to railroad Karmelo Anthony. Now, luckily, this is going to court, hopefully, unless they take a plea deal. But that's where we're at right now. And we have this testimony who's saying that, hey, he was assaulted. Now, people are bringing up the whole knife thing. I hear you. Under Texas, 5.5 inches, given the fact that he wasn't on school grounds, but he was at a school-related event, which then would consider, I believe it's a felony. Class 3, a 3 felony. Yes, that he would be guilty of. But he could be found guilty of that and then also get away with murder or manslaughter. 100%. That can absolutely possibly happen. And then when it comes to, class 3 felony, I mean, what are we looking at? Probation? What, a house arrest? Do some community service? Yeah, I'll take that any day over a conviction over manslaughter or murder. Give me a break. Damn. As I said, what's happening is exactly what's happening. They're moving the goalposts, right? And they're moving the goalposts to the knife, which, as I said, what they would do. And they're asking, okay, why do you have a knife? The only reason he had a knife was if he wanted to commit a crime. What?
No, he had a knife for incidents like this.
Just foolishness, right? They have this mindset, and I've said this before, where it's like, hey, black person bad. So anything that comes out from this or of this, it has to fit in their narrow worldview of black person bad. So now, if a black person is carrying a gun, why they have a gun? Why are they walking down the street with a gun? Are they trying to rob somebody? Where if it's a white person walking with a gun, oh, Second Amendment, brother. That's right. Second Amendment. That's right. Absolutely. 2A, bro. 2A. And that comes from a perverse, racist mindset, a lineage of evil, as I call it. Just a lineage of evil that just corrupts their brain. So it's the same thing, right? If it had been a white kid with a knife, people have been carrying knives since the beginning of time, right? They usually use it as a form of self-defense, whether it's a knife, a gun, bear mace, pepper spray, a litany of things, okay? And that's what he claimed he had it was for self-defense. He said, I was defending myself. In addition to that, he said it to the officer. In addition...
If he was screwed, they would have dropped that video. You feel me? If anything, if he was screwed, they would have dropped that video. That they didn't even drop that video and let you know it's something going on, and they putting all these narratives out here for a reason, because it's not fitting it, in my opinion. But we'll see how big that knife is, but I still feel that.
On top of that, trying to label him as a thug in Frisco, Texas is wild, okay? That's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And him asking if the kid was okay, right? He asked officer if he was okay. I mean, what are we talking about here, right? But they don't care about any of that. They don't care. That's what you have to understand, that there could be a video showing Austin with an AK-47 pointed at Carmelo Anthony's face, and you want to know what they would ask? What did Carmelo do to have it pointed at his face? Damn,
wouldn't have
that's the
dropped
type
the
of people
video.
that you're dealing with. So it's not about facts and evidence with
For
them.
real,
They don't
man.
care what the facts and evidence are. They don't care. At the end of the day, that's where their caveman Neanderthal mindset goes to. Black person bad, black person guilty. There's no talking to them. It's just talking to a wall. When people talk about you can't use lethal force is in the eye of the beholder, right? It's the same thing we have when it comes to an officer, that they fear for their lives. It can't be in hindsight. It has to be taken into account of what happened at that time. So if Anthony is being attacked, he's already been assaulted, and you have two people, it's 2 versus 1. In addition to them being completely outweighed, he's outweighed by them, right? They weigh 200 something pounds or whatnot. Anthony's a very skinny kid. Then yes, a lawyer could absolutely argue that he had reasonable belief that he was going to have not immediate imminent death, because it's not imminent death, but also a serious bodily injury. Those are two factors that come into play. So if he absolutely believes that he's going to incur
100,000.
serious bodily injury, then yeah, pulling out a knife to defend yourself is absolutely reasonable. It's absolutely can be seen as self-defense. But you can't tell it to these people because, once again, caveman brain. Blood person bad. But we'll see, right? We'll see if we get to court, plea deal, what happens. Keep donating. I'll put the link for the donation down below. And, Godspeed. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, Lucas, no, black person
I'm gonna
bad.
put the link in the chat, man. I done dropped something, man. Anthony, I'm gonna drop some more, bro. Just so they get to that 300. You need them at that 300. No, he ain't got it. I put it in my chat. Somebody asked me for it, but yeah, they only need 100,000. It's a million, but I don't think they should drop the 100,000 because you need to go get a bond reduction. Like that's how they did with that boy Yellow Beezy in Texas. He had I think a $2 million bond or something like that, and they dropped it. Like, why would you just want to give them that more money? No, get a bond reduction, and then pay the money from there instead of just doing the first bond that they give you. Yeah, free that young man. 2 boys jumping on him. If the world seen that video of 2 people jumping on him, there's no way he don't get off. They gonna be hey, Carmelo Anthony gonna be the new OJ. He's gonna be the new OJ. He's gonna be our modern day OJ right now. I'm just mad we ain't got that boy Johnny Cochran, man. But they could though. Listen, I forget what case they just throwed out, but it's like, they could throw it out once they see the camera. Once the judge see the video, he could throw the murder case out. Like, yeah, Frisco is 90% white. Yeah, but that video, that's why that video is so important. Because we already got a witness that's saying this. They probably gonna have some witnesses that ain't even say nothing. That's just trying to be on that boy's side. They gonna just talk and just trying to be on his side. But judge cannot weigh the evidence. That's up to the jury. No, but if you can put a motion, his lawyers, if it's video that's showing that, it don't gotta get to no jury, bro. Like it's cases that people beat. Like they throw a motion to drop the charges because they was charging them. They could, it's ways that you ain't even gotta go to trial. They probably could drop it to a manslaughter, but I don't think the murder gonna stick anyway. I think the only thing he looking at is manslaughter. Stop living around them folks. Segregation. Judge saw it. He could not weigh the evidence. Jury is the fact finder. So how can? But listen, illegal search and seizure. So it's times and cases, bro. I done been locked up and I had an illegal search and seizure. I didn't have to go to trial. The judge threw out my case. The police pulled me over. They found a gun and drugs in the car. They said my tag was obscured. The lawyer said, "Oh, he got a picture of my tag. He sent it to the judge." The whole reason for pulling me over was the tag was obscured. We couldn't see it. So they showed it that this is a legal search and seizure because his tag was valid. When you give that information, your lawyer get that information to the judge, they can throw it out. I mean, I don't know about the murder suppression of evidence. That is not weighing the evidence. Right. So they threw the evidence out. So you saying that it can't be the evidence, but we'll see. Yeah, it's a different, it ain't like it's a different case, but I'm saying that you can get a case thrown out for certain. I mean, I don't know about the murder case. I can't speak on that, but I've been in a case where I didn't have to go to trial. It got thrown out before we even got there. No jury had to be even have no part of it. I got pulled over 45, whipped out my CC card, and I was on my way. Yeah, but we'll see how this play out, man. I'm still standing. I still feel like he gonna beat the case in my opinion. But I want to know what y'all think. Do y'all think he gonna beat the case? A lot of people saying he fried. I don't think so though. Because as we seen with that other, in New York, how he shot that guy. Yeah, it's probably different with murders and felonies. Yeah, but that was a felony too, though. But it'll be crazy if we got video evidence of him being attacked and stabbed somebody, and they still got to go to trial for that. I think they could possibly drop the murder charge because when you get locked up, they always try to give you the highest charge ever, the one that gonna get the highest bail, the bond that they gonna get, and then normally they come down. So they be playing a different kind of. They tried to kidnap. That's a forcible felony. Deadly force is justified. Exactly. Right. Mickey says she got attempted murder thrown out. You can get it. If it's evidence that's showing something deliberate, I think you can. Don't quote me on it, but I think that you probably could be able to. The family and us need to demand that video get released immediately. For real. Because that's going to say everything right there. Did you see how fast they released that video of that New York guy shooting the healthcare off? It was like the next day. Same day they had that footage. They tried to give me a deal for 12 years. I said no, gotta quit it. I would have got 12 anyway if convicted. Yeah. So I hope he get the case thrown out. Like, did Zimmerman go to trial? Or they threw it out same day? Did Zimmerman go to trial or did he get it thrown out? I think Zimmerman got it thrown out as well for the stand your ground. I'm not sure, but you check. Yeah, he did go to trial and they found him not guilty. Yeah, so man, it is what it is, man. We gotta keep wait until we see the evidence, but Zimmerman gotta quit it. Right. This is what I'm saying. So it's a possibility that he can get acquitted. Boy, they gonna be mad. They gonna be big mad. Salute, Black Boy Wonder. I appreciate you, bro. Sandbox. Yeah, but what you think about this, Black Boy Wonder? The man burning a woman alive in New York subway was on the internet that night. No, That's crazy. That's crazy, fam. Yeah, but like you said, man, segregation might be the best thing for us, bro. Because being around people and we gotta try to defend ourselves and still get locked up, it's like that ain't where it's at. So you don't even know what the story is. Just been seeing the pick a dude online. So the witness just said they came from a whole nother tent and went over there. Two dudes and they tried to punch him. Yeah, Zimmerman went to trial and was acquitted. For real, can't be living around them folks. It's too risky. You feel me? You see what they did to Emmett Till? We still trying to get justice for Emmett Till, bro. Grown men beat up a little kid, bro. Grown men beat on like a 9-year-old kid. And I'm going and people are saying the times are so crazy that they're gonna support this guy. And I'm like, bro, y'all was around. It was a bunch of old white women that was saying this. Times are so crazy. They supporting this. And I'm like, bro, y'all seen the craziest times in history where they burning towns, hanging people, feeding black babies to alligators. What did you think of that? Like, how could somebody sit here and say when somebody defended themselves that it's just so it's crazy times right now? That's what had me like. I'm just you as a white person saying that, bro. The tragedies that we've been through. It's a guy got a channel, bro, where he just break down all of the illegal hangings that we had. It's hard to watch, but he break down like all of the horrific things that was done to us, bro. And they gonna compare that. They gonna compare this to like all of the wild, crazy stuff we've been through in this world. That's just crazy to me. So 160 towns done, like Rosewood and Tulsa. Yeah, like you ain't like I know you heard about these stories, older white lady. I know you heard about this. Like this make this look like a walk in the park. That's just letting you know where people at, bro. If you do, the kid is going down. Find the clip that says the FBA kid was in the right. Yeah, like the devil punch bowl without a sanctuary. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, wow, just the response on how they acting. Like, we still trying to get justice for Emmett Till. White lady lied on that boy. They was cool with it. Yeah, they was cool with that junk, bro. I'm in the comments letting them know they ain't responding to none of my comments too. I'm like, how did you feel about this? Did you hear about all of the crazy stuff that was going on? Like you don't think that was bad? But like you say, like he said, you can't reason with them people. Them people got a whole. I ain't never heard of the Devil Punch Bowl. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Y'all got me with that one. But yeah, Carmelo coming home, man. He coming home. We just gotta get him to oh yeah, y'all want me to look up that Devil Punch Bowl. That sound crazy. Never heard of it. We finna get to it. Okay, let me check it out real quick, y'all. Before we I gotta get on that Devil Punch Bowl. I like y'all be knowing history. Y'all make y'all knowing history I don't even know about. Let's check it out. Let's get it.
Thus, legitimately free individuals and escapees alike were captured and held in contraband camps, so named because as commodities they were considered contraband by Union troops
Two.
who had no qualms about perpetrating slavery for their own benefit. Three such camps existed in the Devil's Punch Bowl area of Natchez. A massive exodus of former slaves from southern plantations trekked northward in hopes of reaching a location of true freedom, but embittered soldiers, resentful that the people considered property were now free, had other plans. Researcher Paula Westbrook, who has extensively studied Devil's Punch Bowl, noted when the slaves were released from the plantations during the occupation, they overran Natchez, and the population went from about 10,000 to 120,000 overnight. Unable to grapple with an instant population swell, the city turned to Union troops still lingering after the war to devise a merciless, impenitent solution. So they decided to build an encampment for him at Devil's Punch Bowl, which they walled off and wouldn't let him out. Former director of Natchez City Cemetery, Don Estes, explained. Devil's Punch Bowl is so named for a cavernous bowl-shaped gulch walled off by treetop cliffs. It was the perfect place in the heart of nature for the army to enslave people and carry out their regime of torture. The men were forced to undergo heavy labor throughout the day while the women and children were simply locked up behind the walls. Every slave man, woman, and child was starved and kept in the worst of hygiene conditions. The slaves died of torture by starvation and exhaustion. After the slaves were dead, the soldiers kept their bodies to rot inside the camps. They never cleared or buried the bodies. Instead, they provided inmates with shovels to bury their slave brothers and sisters inside the camp. They were told to bury them where they dropped. Such conditions, along with the camp's location and climate of the region, contributed to the outbreak of several diseases that infected and killed the slaves. One of the major diseases contributing to the fatality was smallpox. Estes said of the concentration camp prisoners, they were begging to get out. Turn me loose, and I'll go home back to the plantation, anywhere but there. Locals say human skeletons occasionally wash free from the location in times of heavy rains and flooding. Wild peach trees now dot the basin where human beings who believed they finally won freedom from slavery were tortured and died, and these peach trees are believed to be fertilized by their bodies. Like so much about the history of the United States, sadistic acts perpetrated by officials acting on behalf of the government have been deceitfully downplayed to lessen shame and facilitate collective memory loss. Whatever the full truth about Devil's Punch Bowl, it's a veritable guarantee no history book will be honest or thorough enough to shed light on the excruciating conditions similar to Nazi concentration camps. This is the Devil's Punch Bowl.
Black problems, black issues, past, present, and future. This is Black Authentic Truth.
Wow, that's crazy, fam. Can't believe that. Yeah, they gotta cut that check, man. Yeah, we gotta. Yeah, there's no way. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, they gotta cut that check on us, man. White say those are the sweetest tasting peaches. Damn, that's crazy, man. But yeah, we got along. The trauma is real, right? That's what I was saying. Like, y'all can't even judge us the same. Like, you gonna be hard on us about him, about Carmelo stabbing somebody? No, man, we riding with all our people. Say we owe reparations for freeing us. Mm, that's beyond sick, right? That they gonna say our peach. That's crazy, man. We freed ourselves. Yeah, and you burnt our town. It was like y'all put us in a messed up position. Right. I only feel for the Anthony family, bro. Coming on there beating on that boy, man. Yeah, we gotta but they don't like us sticking together. They made shoes from black skin. The best shoes ever made. Mm. Damn. Yeah, this deep, man. This deep. But cut the check, right? Stop playing. Like, we probably owe trillions, man. Water God TV just provoking thoughts. Roughly 87% Republicans do not support reparations. For FBA, roughly 46% of Democrats do not support reparations. That's crazy. Yeah, because most of them people at the top, bro, they're already getting paid. It's probably in their payment from what they're getting paid to don't support reparations. So them people paying them for that, in my opinion. Quickly do your genealogy, you will be surprised. Shout out Tia to you. Why you say do this again? The caves are still there. Mm. Damn. We need to get our riches FBA, buy land for the people. Yeah, I was talking about that with William, man. We got to start like doing something with money. I don't want to put too much out in the free world right now because this going out, but we got to do stuff where we put our money together. You see how we supported Carmelo Anthony. We got to put money together and get certain institutions, lands, and businesses going, bro. Enough of this putting money to stuff that don't benefit us. We got to put our money together. Like I told y'all about when Johnny Cochran won a case, they polluted a town in Anniston, Alabama, and people got sick and died. And Johnny Cochran got the whole town 300 million, 18,000 people, and they got like 9,000 apiece. But it was like $147 million. But when you broke that money down, it was nothing. But if they would have just kept that 147 million and just was trying to flip that and make that, they would have been way better off. So check out the you said check out the Cahokia when you get a chance. East St. Louis Pyramid is still there. So, okay. We are Mississippians. We have the most navigatable waters on the planet and can get to anywhere from anywhere. Mm. Yeah, that Mississippi, what they call it, the Mississippi, like the Nile, or is it the Mississippi River? And it could navigate through the whole world, kind of like with transportation. But yeah, the Nile, the real Nile, right? They claim the Nile is over there. Yeah, family, but y'all, we gotta stick together. We gotta put money together. They don't us sticking together. We seen in 225 has been powerful. Cleveland, Ohio, by boat to Egypt, easy, right? Yeah, bro. They said it's a pyramid over there in Little Africa. It's like in Illinois. It's a town called Little Africa. We had a lot of pyramids out here, but she put that's where my people is from. Yeah, I got people in Mississippi too. I need to get out of Cali, come down south, and get with my peoples. Yeah, we need to be buying land, man. We got to be doing stuff for real. 2,000 pyramids in North America. Entire Africa only at 800. I'm telling you, we them people here, like they don't want to give us credit to being the leaders. History has been rewritten, right? We gave Egypt the game. Like somebody was on my show and had the book, and they was saying that, look, I forget the name of the lady or the name of the person, but they went over there and gave Egypt the game to how they could do what they do, what we was doing over here. So yeah, the game is definitely rigged on us. But yeah, family, we got to put it all together, man. We have to put it all together. But everybody tell me where y'all tapped in at. What part of America y'all in right now, man? Do we got anybody in Mississippi right now? I remember that live video. You remember that video, Avatar? Yeah, that was one of the ones. No buying back what's ours. Take our indigenous land. We are the Amura and American Indians. Yeah. Yep. I know you in was Milwaukee. I'm down here in Florida. Detroit, Racehead. I know Mickey Jones is in Detroit. So we got Detroit in the house. Detroit. Detroit got a lot of history too, man. Y'all by the Nile River too. All of that's Chicago, Mississippi, Detroit, like Saint, all of that in the middle. That's where like all of the people in water treatment, the big white companies, that's where they manufacture their equipment at. It's like in the Illinois, and all of the finance companies in my industry, they're in Wisconsin. I always see that and I'd be like, what the heck going on there? Like the finance companies in my industry, all of the companies are in like Wisconsin. I'd be like, dang, like Midwest, we should link up. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm gonna put my Discord in here, y'all. This is where we link and try to be discreet with stuff that we got going on. I'm gonna put my Discord in this chat. I need y'all to lock in with your family and make sure we building, we growing, and we setting goals for what we need to do. This is very important. This is very important, bro. Cause everybody got information. I like how y'all be sticking together as well, but it's very important to be tied in with the like mind. Man, StreamYard, what they doing? Hold on, y'all. Put that Discord in there. And some of y'all are already in there, but we just need to be able to be in touch with everybody. So we know what's going on. Command C. All right, I got it. So I'm gonna put this in the chat for us. And it's the best thing, y'all. We gotta link up. We gotta unite. We gotta focus on financial strategies, buying land, building our businesses up. Everybody, whatever, if you got a business, we need to build it up. We have to really be serious about this stuff, y'all, because now is the time. We can't segregate unless we, come together. We had too many tragedies from our ancestors for us not getting it right. There's no excuses. Say we talking about our waters with water God. Things come together. I wasn't even thinking about that. That's crazy, ain't it? Dang. That's deep. That's deep, family. It's deep, man. God ain't making no mistakes. All praises to the Most High. But man, we gotta link up. I put it in the chat, the Discord. Definitely, man. We need to tap into there, put our heads together, put our thoughts together. They can't stop us, and we ain't scared no more, bro. Like I'm standing on business, about the people, bro. Yeah, they need you in Flint for real, man. They do, man. I'm trying to get out there, man. I'm trying to be everywhere that my FBA family, because y'all don't understand, man, the research that I put through that. I know that they put lead in the water in the hoods. This is why people are so violent, They doing stuff like that. and we don't even know what's going on. Like they've been doing it. They've been poisoning our water for years, bro. So it's real important to me, man. I just want everybody to link up. I joined. I'm on Royalty Gaming in Discord. I want to link up about fixing water. Straight up, man. I got listen. I manufacture it, man. I want to put everybody on. I got 11 years of experience in this, and I do it out of the love for my people because I know what we go through. But I want to people to understand what's going on and we can help people out because it's crazy, man. They controlling the waters right now. It's deep, bro. We got to make sure that our people ain't being. This is what is mind control and stuff could happen when people don't even know they putting elements in their body that they don't know what to do, but they already got the research. They've been doing research for years and years and years. They know if you put some of these chemicals and stuff in your body on how to affect you. So it's very important, man. But we gonna start it by linking up and doing what's best for us, man. So my mom has a distilled machine, pulls water out the air. That's it. It's that pulling the water out the air. But me personally, I feel like you gotta make sure you gotta trust that that water has been purified. It's very important because they do the chemtrails, they do a lot in the air. I done drunk air water before, but knowing that your water went through a process, to knowing that is purified of certain things. But you can't get water out of air like that. But you want to make sure that purification is going through the right process. But I do mostly for the home and drinking water, reverse osmosis, and the tanks. If y'all seen on my video, I help people who got farms, or if you in the city, or if around a whole bunch of people, alkaline pH balance. Yeah, they putting fluoride in our water for the pineal gland, and the only thing gonna take that out is reverse osmosis. So I thought if distilled, it's pure because it breaks down the molecules. Yeah, it is. But what I'm saying is distilled, if you get the water, like if you got the process that you're doing it, but it's just not as I I trust something that's going through the process, like water that's going through a process. Distilled can still be good, bro. You can drink it. I don't want you to think that it's not, but taking water from air can kind of be risky as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Y'all got to get in that chat, bro, so we can understand. But I'm not against distilled. It's pure, but it's a chance of you getting air, turning air to water that it ain't going through the right process. You can possibly still get dirty air or dirty bacteria. Yeah. But yeah, man, everybody need to at least have something that they purifying to take out the fluoride. And that's a reverse osmosis. It's going to take out 99.9%. Then you alkaline, you put all your minerals, in the water after that. So now the water it went through the right process. But the still water, I don't want y'all to run from the still water. It's just me knowing that, you know, taking water from air and they be playing with the air is just, it could get a little risky. Yeah. Get a Cooper distiller. Yeah, like you can distill it. You can get you can distill the water and then run it through the system too. It's people that do that. It's also ways where you can pick up rainwater and then purify it through a system. So it's different ways you can go about it, but it's just important, man. Because if y'all see on my channel, I talk about the microplastics in water that people are getting now, that they saying in about 10 years from people drinking so much plastic bottled water, that plastic, which is pretty much like gas, is breaking into the water when it's in heat, and it's breaking down into the water, and people are constantly drinking it. They're saying that there's going to be a new type of cancer or sickness that, from this microplastic that everybody drinking. So yeah, but in this water business, I I done sold a lot of systems to like white people, and that's more of the white, Indian, Chinese, like black people buying it too, but not as much as we need it. We need the whole hood to have purified water, but other cultures, they put more pride into, like, I ain't gonna say pride, but they know the importance of it. And I see that, in our community is people still drinking out the tap, you know what I'm saying? From the city, and thinking that that's cool. Yeah, them pyramids, man. So listen, y'all, we gotta join that chat. Gotta join that chat because everybody got talent. He said plastic is made from petroleum, right? Yeah. Which is like, so drinking out of that, bro, is y'all need to get y'all a container to get your water from. You wasting money too buying plastic bottles because you can't even get enough water. Like, you gotta buy so much plastics to be able to drink enough, if you want to be hydrated. But if you got something that's purifying your water, you can drink, you can get 50, 60 gallons a day. Right. They melting the plastic back in the gasoline. This is why it's not good to drink out of that plastic, bro. Especially if you buy them bottled waters and you just push it and it crack, crack, crack. It's no good, fam. It's not good for you. Drink from the fountain in the bean, pay attention. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in jail, that water be bad too, man. I hurt when I see a child's face. Glass. Glass, you can't go wrong. Aluminum, you know what I'm saying? Copper, glass is the best, They sell them if y'all got an IKEA, they got them glass bottles, the little oval ones. I wish I can go in there and show y'all in my kitchen, but it ain't even that deep. If you go to IKEA, they got them. They like $1.99, $2. I got the reverse osmosis, man. Y'all just gotta hit me on that chat on my number I got, bro, and I can get y'all that reverse osmosis. We can work out that. But you get you a reverse osmosis and you get you a glass bottle, probably save you money, so much money in buying plastic bottles. Y'all got to get y'all family, y'all older people, y'all got to get them off that plastic bottles, that plastic water drinking as well. Get them a reverse. I had to do it for my mom. I had to get them a system because they don't. Some of us, our black people, are not. They don't feel like this is important. They don't understand people that's doing it. Like, people don't know that it's people out here buying water treatment systems every day. There's companies and people that they're going to people's houses every day, testing water, giving them the price. They booking appointments right online. It's not a lot of black people, but it's every day we going into people's houses, testing their water, giving them an analysis, bro. This is going on with a lot of companies in every state in the United States, every city in the United States. So it's a big industry that people don't even know about that exists. But the first thing you got to do when you move into a house or something is your water, man. I remember when I went to a guy, he was he was a veteran, and he bought this house in the hood, and he know the water had lead in it, but the VA wouldn't give him the loan because the lead was at 2.1, and they're not gonna fund they're not gonna fund a loan if it got lead in it. So he had us running the water, and getting a test just so it can meet less than the 2.1 so the VA can fund the loan. And then he got the equipment to take all the lead out just so he can get a price at the house at a cheaper price. And this opened my eyes because this was a white dude. So it was like, they knowing things that we don't. You know what I'm saying? But somebody gave me they water report, and they water report says that the city allows up to 15 parts per million of lead. So it's hard for them to violate. Shout out to, well, I forget his name, but that's so high, but the VA only allows it at 2.1. So y'all see the games that they play. So it's like, it's just important stuff, man, that you got to know. They know what that lead do to you, because in the community, if you getting that lead in your water, it's like you're going to be more violent. You're going to be easily influenced. It's just a lot of stuff, bro. And they know about these minerals that goes into our body and what effects it do. So it's just deep, man. It's deep. I don't want to talk y'all head off about it, but it's definitely important, man. I want my people to be more important with it. I mean, take it to the high priority. You know, it what's the guy at the end of my I stopped drinking from plastic bottles too. Yeah. Well, even if, man, like you can go and get water um at them plants or something, that's out of reverse osmosis. And then you can have them 5-gallon jugs, but it's just so much work. You going and pulling up 5-gallon jugs when they're doing the same thing you could do at your house. You could just get you a reverse osmosis. I got the right one, the alkaline one, and you can have that instead of carrying water all the time. You know, so like talk your issue, listen. Yeah. Yeah, man, because it ain't a lot of black people in this industry, man, and they ain't speaking this. They not saying this. The average water treatment plant supervisor's salary in the United States as of March 2006 is $40 an hour. 80,000 per year. Yeah. And it's not a lot of black people in water, man. I'm telling you. It's not a lot of us. So the Santi, why it tastes so salty. That's a Pepsi product, bro. So Pepsi or Coke, one of them, Dasani and what's the other one? Aquafina, whatever. You know, they got a plant where they get tap water somewhere, they purify it and put it in a plastic bottle and sell it to you. You know, you can't trust them people. Yeah, in every industry, bro. But that water is like, it's crazy. Cause in the black communities, we have the most water problems. Like y'all see what happened in Flint. It was one in Newburgh. They had one in Mississippi. It's like every couple of years, it's a city that'll have a huge water problem, and black people will be getting sick. Anyone drinking the Sunny, I look at sideways. Yeah, man. But if you go down a grocery store aisle, you see all them bottles of water that they got for sale, all them different types. It's only two. It's only two water companies, big water companies in America, bro. But you got all of these different water bottles. Because what they're doing is private labeling. They just playing with your mind. She probably behind on a video, 15 minutes, but I'm gonna see it through. Yeah, man, y'all know I'm just rambling. They don't sell glass bottles in most stores, right? That's what I'm saying. Go on IKEA.com and y'all order you some glass bottles. That's the first. It's only $2. $1, $2. Make sure your kid drinking out of. Make sure everybody you drinking out of water like that. We don't want no microplastics in our body. They bagging up glass and calling it smoke. Yeah, man. I'm cooking up a crazy idea. Bro, I love to hear that. Because that's what we need, man. We got it. Bro, we've been coming up with great ideas since the beginning of time, man. So that's why I can't wait to get in that group chat with y'all because I know we're gonna come up with something great. I steal my glass bottles from Kmart. Man, do what you gotta do, man. But IKEA got them big ones that y'all can get. But yeah, we gotta glass everything like back in the day. It wasn't no plastic. A full house system is the way to go. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the only way, man. I can show y'all like you gotta have the two tanks outside that's taking out, the chemicals. Then you got one that's gonna take out that calcium and magnesium. I don't know why it's so much calcium in the water. Like I tested water from Florida, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Connecticut, Vegas, Texas. It's like it's all calcification, magnesium. And if you look up how much magnesium you can have in your body, they say it's like 11 grams. Anything after that, it could cause off balance in your body. So it's like it's just so much, man, and everybody body different. So what somebody can intake may be different than from what you can intake. They say Fargo ND has some of the best water. Yeah, well, you know what? People were saying that about New York. They was like, man, New York got some of the best water, bro. And I went up there because it was a black town called Newburgh. Well, my cousin, I had family was there, and they had a water crisis. It was PFAS. That's forever chemicals in the water. And I went up there and I had started another company in that area and get helping people in the community with water treatment. And was a lot of black people in the area that was pretty much, and they was going to the town hall meetings. And so all I'm saying is it's forever chemicals that's in the water that can't get out. The only way you can get it out is through a reverse osmosis. I can drink 2 liters of water and still get leg cramps, hand cramps, like it's not absorbing. Yeah, man. Cause bad water, your kidneys gotta flush that stuff out, bro. We gotta make sure our kidneys is not overworking. So you want to make sure that water pure, man. I even like doing the alkaline yourself without the filters. Just put you some lime juice. They sell a little lime juice at the store. Like whenever you got purified water, you just put a drop or two of the lime juice in there that alkalines it. Just give it some minerals, the good stuff in there. Or you could put a little baking soda in there. It'll give it the alkaline it needs, the natural way. But yeah, family, it's something that we got to be on. We got to be knowledgeable about our water, our medicine. We got to be. It's like we so used to the government taking care of us. You know, yeah, especially with pure water. Once it's pure, that's what's gonna give it. So it's gonna stick to you. If you got that baking soda and that lime juice in there, you know, you don't gotta just drink a lot of it and it's not doing anything. Like, man, I go in people's houses and I be showing them like water, like where I can put in pure water the difference between water that got a whole bunch of calcium, magnesium, and stuff in it. Like if you drink coffee, you got a flavor over all of that. Man, I be doing so much stuff, man. It'll blow your mind, bro. I be trying to blow my people mind when I'm in there showing them what their water is. The chat right next door. You in the Discord now, right? Hit me up. I'm in the chat. You right next door. For real. So yeah, guys, I just it's good that y'all even hearing it because man, I be sometimes speaking to some people, bro. And this is a whole house. See, this is what if y'all can see it. Now let me open it up, bro. Y'all can see this what a whole house system is, bro. Now this is going a little extra when you got the UV light. This is an air purification, and this is like 2 tanks, but this is similar to what I'm pushing out right now. So it's just something, man. We got to make sure we own. But man, I appreciate y'all. Yeah, y'all got to be on point, man. That's why I do this, man, to let my people be on point. I want to let them know about what's going on, but I understand how the industry benefit off of us being unknowledgeable about your water. Does it replace the hot water tank? No, it ain't gonna replace the hot water tank, but it's gonna see people really want water treatment to save their plumbing, save their hot water heater, because they don't want all of that calcification and all that excess minerals to cover uh that heating element in that hot water heater. See, the truth is, if you don't treat your water, it's going to break down your pipes. It's going to break down your water using appliances. And these companies want you to keep buying that stuff. So that's the real reason why people really want it. They want to have pure water too, but they want their water using appliances to last. If you use that water and let it keep running through your house, or like pipe problems happen. It's a lot of problems you're going to have. Kidney stones you can have because you shower in this over calcified water. Got so much magnesium in it. You know what I'm saying? It's that it causes health problems. Yeah, they could use it. Yeah, for real, man. Yeah, the calcium makes the water hard, bro. It's other things that make the water hard, but that calcium makes the water hard. Like, look, see, this like a TDS meter. So when I go in the house and I put a cup of water, I wish I had a cup of water right here. So like if anything like under 10 and under, I know that it's like pure good water. Y'all can get one of these too. They like $12, $13 on Amazon. If you drinking water and it got like anything over 100, 200, it's risky. 300, 400, anything past 4 to 500, it's like too much TDS. TDS means total dissolved solids. So that's in your water. So you can stick this in the water and it's going to tell you like how much TDS is in the water. So it's certain limits that you got to know with, like, dang, it's this much in the water, I can't use it, you know? And that's what's going to help you understand. But and he said you got the scared to wash out the must. No, man, don't do it like that. But I got something, bro, even for renters, man. I'm gonna put it in the Discord. I'm gonna have stuff for y'all in the Discord that you can get, bro. Like you can get certain stuff that's gonna help you out. Yeah, I'm telling you, no, when I was a kid, bro, I used to itch a lot when I used to get into the water. Itch, itch, itch. Every time I used to take a shower, I used to be itching, itching. I used to hate it. But we went somewhere, man, and I ain't itch when I got in the shower. And that's when I got so intrigued about water, bro. And then it just went from there. But a lot of kids going through what I'm going through right now, they get in the shower and they get out and they always itching. They like itching, 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 itching. Cause all of that stuff in the water is making your skin. This is where not acne, but eczema. It's a lot of skin issues that's coming up now because some people could be putting it in the water, bro. They want you to have bad skin problems. They want you to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to go right on the aisle at CVS or one of these drug stores, and you're going to have to buy creams and buy stuff because you got itchy skin. You know, like I just had a brother. I helped him in his water treatment. I gave him a system, but he wanted to be cheap. He was like, "Bro, man, I just want a softener, but I'm trying to give him the information and education, but he don't want to take it all. He just somebody told him to get a softener. He like, bro, I just want to get a softener. So I sold him. All right, bro, get you the softener. I ain't gonna sit here and try to beat information down your head. So a year later, I told him I normally sell people 2 tanks. I take out the chlorine and chemical that the city put in, and then I put the softener in there. A year later, he hit me. He like, bro, my water tastes so salty. What's going on? So I'm telling him, like, when you mix chlorine with salt, it makes table salt. So what happened is he was getting salt into his hot water, and he liked to be in the shower, like drinking the water or brushing his teeth, and he tasting the salt. So I had to put a tank in there, a carbon tank, because he wanted to be cheap when he got the system. I had to put the carbon tank in there just so he ain't tasting the salt in the water. And now, you know what I'm saying? He good. So yeah, hard water makes it difficult to rinse stuff out of your hair, bro. Man, if y'all see the test I do when I show people with soap, how much soap you only use a little bit of soap when you got pure water in your house. So people who got soft water and they got treatment systems, the amount of soap, like if I had a gallon of water, of pure water and a gallon of water with that tap water, and all I got to do in the pure water is put a drop, right? Shake it up. You're going to see so much suds. It'll take so much soap that you got to put in there to get the same suds. I show this in people's house. So they want you spending more money on soap. Pretty much, bad water costs you so much money. That's the name of this game, bro. If your water ain't a certain where it's supposed to be, it's gonna cost you money. It's gonna cost you your health if you don't understand it. You know. So right, you using all that soap. You got to use all your soap. You buying soap. You buying soap every week, every other week, because that water is just it's just eliminating your soap. And you spending more money on soap than somebody who got purified water, bro. That white family next to you that got that system, they putting drops and it's sudding up. A little bit of drop, boom, and it's sudding up. And they got this on YouTube too. Yeah, so it's like we spending all this money at the grocery store, bro. We doing all of this because we don't understand the importance of the water. My helpline is away. Yeah, man. So, man, I want y'all doing what I'm doing too, man. I want y'all to like it's definitely it's a career, man. It's definitely a career in that water treatment. So, but definitely I want y'all to know the information so y'all not wasting your money and you not going through problems with like skin issues. It's like I remember this white couple. This is about 7 years ago. I gave them I signed them up and got them a water treatment system, and their son had eczema. And at about 5, 6 months later, he sent me pictures like, "Thank you, Rob, so much, man. My son, his skin issues is gone, you know." And I'm like, "Damn, bro, they seeing the effects of it." And it's like, it's just deep. She put, yeah, but I take your advice. Softener, add salt. Yeah, Damn, it's your birthday, man. Happy birthday, bro. 20 minutes before your birthday, bro. Man, make sure y'all tap into the Discord. For real, man. Anytime I can help somebody, bro, it's always a good thing, man. Because I would want somebody to tell me there's people out there that they having issues with the water. They itching just like people out here, but they don't know. They didn't. It's hard to get that information. So make sure y'all tell our people, man. And don't let them peckerwoods come over to your house and try to, beat you over the head. Because that's what they're going to do. They know you don't know. And a lot of our people get beat over the head because they're not speaking to somebody that they looking at you and they like, oh yeah, you don't know? Okay. I'm gonna beat you across the head. Happy Earth Day, huh? For real, I don't like to say birthday. Happy Earth Day, man. Yeah, man. Bruh, you ain't even got to put on no lotion if you got pure water. Your skin just be naturally oiled up. Your natural oils come out. Because when you got that hard water, it clogs your pores. So it dries your skin out. This is why people buying so much lotion. You buying a lot of lotion when your skin ain't, when your water not pure. You gotta moisture your skin. It's dry. But yeah, man, any way I can help, man. I appreciate y'all listening to me, man. Man, I've been trying to talk to my people, man, for years. But for real, man, we gotta Happy King Day. That's what I normally say. Happy King Day. But make sure everybody is in that chat, man. I want to see all y'all in that chat, and I want all us to come together. But cocoa butter #1. For real. Ain't nothing wrong with oiling up the skin now, but sometimes that water gonna make you buy more lotion. But yeah, man. Make sure y'all go to my nah, y'all ain't even gotta do that. Y'all ain't even gotta do that. It's gonna be all at once. But it's all good. Thanks, it's Teal. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all tapping in. Make sure y'all get into that Discord. We gonna exchange information from there. I would like to clip a piece of this to share, Water God. Yeah, you could do that. Y'all run it back. Yeah, clip, share it, tear it to your family, man. Let the people know. They need to know this. We need to get this out because it's people gatekeeping information for profit, These big white companies is gatekeeping this information and they trying to hit people over the head. When I first started this, they used to send me to the hood. And I used to remake systems that they had, old systems, and sell them to the the people in the hood. And then one day the man came to me, he was like, nah, bro, you can't do that no more. We got to sell them the brand new systems for the high price. And this was an expensive company. They selling them for the high, 7,000-8,000. And they stopped me from doing that, like putting the system together. They will call it a regeneration system. But they was like, nah, you got to sell a new system. You can't be doing that. And that's when they gave me the name. They gave me the name, man. And I've been rocking with it ever since on the low. But I appreciate y'all for listening to me, hearing my story, man, and joining the group. I can't wait to get to know all of y'all. I got to know my boy William, so I'm gonna be hitting y'all though to try to get to know each and every one of y'all though. I got some people up coming this week. I'm finna be reaching out to, getting to know everybody. Yes, especially the eye folks, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna talk to all y'all eventually. I want to get to know everybody and then see how we can make this work. Health is wealth. Health is wealth. So listen, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I hope this get on the algorithm and people can see this and people can understand. Y'all can record this and send it to your family. Make sure y'all join the group chat. And any information that's good for the family, y'all make sure y'all give it to us in that Discord, man. And let's try to work on, making our ancestors proud, for what we doing out here. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. I'm gonna see y'all Saturday and Sunday. I'm going live, but I'm gonna be dropping videos throughout the week. So respect, love, and let's be great.